Have you ever been hit with that classic breakup line, "You deserve better," and just sat there like, "Wait, so why didn't you try to be better? Because if you knew that I deserved better and you weren't willing to try, then what were we even doing in the first place?" Welcome back to Life Out Loud, where we keep it honest, unfiltered, and human about life, love, and the mess in between. I'm your host, Sasha, and today we're talking about the phrase that sounds sweet but cuts deep. We're breaking down what "you deserve better" actually means and why hearing it might actually be a blessing in disguise. Let's start with the real version. Sometimes this phrase is actually said with sincerity, like when someone is genuinely struggling, mental health, past trauma, lack of capacity. They might say it because they can't love you right, not because they won't. I had a friend, let's call her Maya. She told her boyfriend that exact line because she was in a deep depressive mode. And I'm not talking about a bad couple of days. I'm talking about she was in survival mode, couldn't get out of bed, barely eating, and really just disconnected from herself. She loved this man deeply, and the fact that she couldn't show up the way that she wanted to for him was eating her alive. So she sat him down one night, tears in her eyes, and said, "You deserve better." Not because she didn't want to try, but because she genuinely felt that she couldn't give him what she knew that he needed. Consistency, warmth, presence. That kind of honesty takes guts. It came from love, not avoidance. So how do you know the difference? One version comes with vulnerability, accountability, and the painful awareness of their own limitations. The other one is just a soft landing for somebody choosing the easy way out. But let's be honest, more often than not, the phrase "you deserve better" is just a prettier way of saying that I don't want to do the work. I remember a guy that I was seeing a few years ago, intelligent, super charming, fun. He said all the right things. But when stuff started to get serious and the accountability should have kicked in, he ghosted the emotional labor. And when I asked him why he backed off, he says, "You deserve somebody that can show up the way that you need." And listen, at the time, I did cry and I thought that it was a noble thing to do. But looking back, he knew what I needed and chose not to rise. That wasn't kindness. That was a cop out in a tuxedo. I think the worst part is the confusion afterwards. You leave the conversation wondering, like, do I actually deserve better? Was I asking for too much? Was I not enough? But when you're somebody who's constantly evolving, working on your communication, setting boundaries, going to therapy, it can be incredibly disorienting when you feel like you're always the one carrying the emotional load. You really start to question if you're the issue simply because the people that you're connecting with are not doing the same work. I remember a time when I was always the one initiating hard conversations, trying to unpack triggers, offer clarity, build something, with meaning. Meanwhile, the person that I was dating or talking to just wanted to keep things light. They really just wanted to be surface level. And when they finally dipped, they said that line, "You deserve better." But the thing is, they could have. They just didn't want to stretch beyond their comfort. That's when it clicks. You're not attracting broken people because you're broken. You're attracting people who are drawn to your clarity. But not everybody who admires the light knows how to live in it. Some folks are mesmerized by your glow, but they're just really unwilling to grow. It's not that you're too much, because trust me, I've thought that so many times in my life. It's that they're just not ready. And you're not the common denominator in a negative sense. You're just on a different path, and it's a healing path, and that's okay. Just know that when you set boundaries and you expect reciprocity, you are going to get resistance. Some people will peace out and they'll try to find an easier connection. Not because they're looking for somebody better, but because they're looking for somebody who won't challenge their comfort emotionally. But hear me, because this is not a flaw. This is evidence that your light is very strong, and the people in the dark will either level up to match it or walk away from the shine. Keep doing the work. The right person will meet you there. Please, whatever you do, do not shrink. Definitely do not settle. Here's something else that I've learned the hard way, and I like sharing these with you guys because I feel like you maybe can possibly learn from my mistakes. I've made many. If you meet somebody and instantly start fantasizing about how they could be if only they changed a few things, or if you fall in love with the version of them that you've created in your head instead of the version of them that's right in front of you, it's a red flag. It's not a romantic arc. We are not meant to mold people into what we want them to be. Relationships should be about growing together, not sculpting someone into your ideal person. Yes, we can work on communication, routines, and even shared goals, but if you're constantly focused on their potential, you're not actually loving them for who they are. You're loving the version of them that exists in your mind. Love them as they are, or step back and let them be loved by somebody who does. Because staying with somebody that you're constantly trying to fix will not only exhaust you, but it will also convince them that who they are is not enough. And nobody will thrive in a love like that. So let's flip this whole thing. The next time somebody hits you with, you deserve better, don't sit in that sadness for too long. Ask yourself these questions. Was I asking for decency, not perfection? Were they aware of what I needed but unwilling to meet me halfway? Have I been settling for the potential version or the real one? That phrase does not have to break you, it can free you. So, if you've ever heard you deserve better, take a deep breath and let this episode be your sign. You didn't lose anything that was meant for your growth. You just cleared space for something rooted in effort, not excuses. If this one hit home, send it to somebody who needs that reminder today. And you can screenshot it, tag me at Life Out Loud Project on Instagram, and let's keep talking about what love and self worth really looks like. The next time somebody says, you deserve better, just smile and say, I know. Until next time, guys, stay growing. What am I doing with my body? Nope. Please tag. No, no tagging.